Alright everyone, welcome back to another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video with Fat Phil, and for this video, we're going to be looking at the 7 best leaderships in the game. Disclaimer here guys, big disclaimer, because people are going to get so mad in the comments. We are not going to be rating Galactic Legends in this list, we're not going to be considering Omicrons, and I'm going to exclude characters like Reva, and then, because one, so Reva, right now, I mean, we know she's kind of like broken, but also her leadership is only for Inquisitorious allies, right? It's all about Inquisitorious allies. So it's a very small faction. Yes, this team is amazing, but her leadership is just Inquisitorious. So I can't consider it really being that, good when it's this specific faction. And I want to make that very clear. It's going to be the same thing with something like 501st. Right? Again, another disclaimer, General Skywalker not going to be on the list because it's 501st allies. That's the main thing. That's the main driver of his kit is 501st allies. So, again, I don't think that really qualifies for the nature of this video where we're looking at the 7 best leaderships for a faction. That, like, these are characters that you can use with their faction. One other character that's going to be excluded from this list is Veers. And that's because his leadership isn't really what's driving that team. His leadership is good, right? They're going to gain offense, and then Imperial Trooper allies gain that 10% turn meter when they gain a buff. But his unique is where they get the 50% turn meter and protection recovery on when an enemy is defeated. And that's where, this isn't his leadership. That's his unique ability. So we can't count him as having a good leadership when it's his unique that's driving the team. So I want to disclaim those, right? Those are some things that we're going to be, disclaimer. Rest of the video, we're going to be paying attention to squads, guys. So again, strap yourselves in. No Galactic Legends. Save to the end, though, because there might be a surprise. There's 2 surprises. If you wait till the end, you guys will see it. So hopefully you guys enjoy the list. Let's get started. Our all-around champ is Bossk. And the reason I call him the all-around champ, I was comparing him to, gymnastics. So if you guys ever watch gymnastics, which most of us maybe only do it during the Olympics because the U.S. Olympic team is always insane. But the thing with Bossk, he's the best all-around lead for bounty hunters. So the bounty hunters are going to gain 50% max protection and tenacity. Then they have 100% defense while at full health. And then when an enemy is going to suffer or resist a debuff, bounty hunter allies recover 5% health and protection. So a lot of survivability on this team, which is crazy. Then, on top of that, once you get their contract, you gain 50 speed for the rest of battle. So this is an insane leadership. Bounty Hunter leads with the contracts. It's important to understand what the contract bonus is along with how to get it. Because somebody who has a very difficult contract, their leadership really isn't as helpful as something like Bossk's. Bossk is not very hard to do. This is a very easy contract to get. The reason why he's number 1, or I call him the all-around champ, like gymnastics. On offense, you might use Aura Singh to take out Darth Revan, which Bossk is going to struggle with. Or you're going to use Fennec Shand lead to take out Lord Vader. Again, something Bossk is really going to struggle with or just not be able to do. But the all-around, those are specific situations. You take Fennec out of that Lord Vader counter. You take Aura Singh away from that super fast contract to snipe somebody. And Bossk is your answer. You put Fennec or Aura Singh on defense, and they're just going to get steamrolled. Bossk has the ability to get holds on defense. I've had it done multiple times. But he's just that all-around champ. He is so good in so many situations. PvE, PvP, Bossk is the, bounty hunter leadership that's probably the best. So let's scroll down here next to Emperor Palpatine. So we have him as the dual threat. And this is very true. So his leadership, Empire and Sith allies, which are 2 massive factions that encompass a lot of characters. They have 35% potency, 35% max health, and then Jedi and Rebel enemies have less 35% potency and 35% less evasion. When an Empire ally inflicts a debuff, they get 20% turn meter. When Sith ally inflicts a debuff, they recover 20% health. But when a debuff expires on an enemy, Empire and Sith allies gain 5% turn meter. So Emperor Palpatine has an Empire and a Sith tag, so he's getting both parts of this bonus, right? The protection, the health recovery, and the turn meter. Again, you see they're gaining potency, they're gaining max health, which is helping with these 2 things down here. going to allow them to inflict more debuffs and have additional health recovery. This is such a great leadership. There are so many different characters who can operate under Emperor Palpatine. You've got Emperor Palpatine Darth Vader, Emperor Palpatine Mara Jade. Even back in the day, guys, in 3v3, Emperor Palpatine, Bastila Shan Fallen, and Malak was a stone wall defense. That was one that gave people so much trouble back in the day. Like, if you ever wonder where high tenacity Malaks came from, that team is the answer. This is just, it's a great leadership all around. The constant, debuffs from Empire or Sith. There's just so many characters that you can plug in here that benefit. I've used this with Emperor Palpatine, Darth Vader, Darth Sidious, Dooku, and like an Empire or Sith tank. Like, you get a lot of turn meter from this team. You can train around people. Again, Emperor Palpatine, Mara Jade, basically solo team, I should say duo teams at this point. Just a really fantastic leadership. One that early and end game is so beneficial. The Zeta is definitely the most, like, a very good Zeta for that additional, that's the way that Sith allies can gain turn meter. So without that, right, there's no turn meter gain for Sith allies and additional turn meter gain for Empire. So I do think that leadership Zeta is important, but overall, guys, one of the best leaderships in the game. Again, a dual threat, Sith and Empire. All right, next we got Jedi Knight Revan, the general leadership. Again, another dual threat here, Jedi and Old Republic. But listen to the wording, for each Jedi and each Old Republic ally. Revan is a Jedi and he's got an Old Republic tag. So they're going to get, Jedi and Old Republic allies gain 5 speed, 5 crit chance, and 5 offense. But remember, it's for each. So Revan gets 5 speed for being Jedi and 5 speed for being Old Republic. That's 10. If you run Jolee, Bastila, and Juhani, they each count as Jedi and Old Republic. So now you're gaining, all of those allies will gain 40 speed, 40 critical chance, and 40% offense. And then if you have another Jedi or Old Republic character, right, add another 5 speed. So you're getting potential 45 speed, 45% critical chance, and 45% offense. I mean, I can't even breathe right now. It's just so crazy. Jedi allies gain tenacity up for 1 turn at the start of battle. Oh, it's crazy. As long as, again, he's in the leader slot there. Then, whenever a Jedi ally attacks out of turn, so again, kind of narrowing it down a little bit to Jedi, they recover 20% of their max protection and deal 35% more damage. So, assists are actually more beneficial to this team. Again, if you're damaging an enemy with a basic and they have bonus protection, you can reduce that target enemy's max health. This still works against Galactic Legends Rey. They took away the General Skywalker, health reduction, but they kept this one, guys. Keep that in mind. That does work against people with bonus protection. You will eat through them eventually. And then at the start of each Jedi ally's turn, they gain strategic advantage if no ally has strategic advantage. So whoever moves first starts with this ability. And a Jedi ally with strategic advantage can't be countered. And then that is dispel debuffs on target other ally, Jedi. And then they gain it and assist using their basic. And then this character uses their basic ability and loses strategic advantage. So you're going to get, an assist attack out of here, attacks out of turn. So you're going to deal more damage and recover protection. It's just fantastic, guys. This kit is amazing, but this leadership is still so good, guys. For a long time, you would use Jedi Knight Revan lead instead of Jedi Master Luke lead for mirror matches because of that tenacity. It would stop those AoE ability blocks early on. Still one of the best Jedi leads to ever come into this game. We've also got another Jedi, and that is Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker. I am a Jedi, like my father before me. But Jedi Knight Luke, this is I'd say Revan is that PvP type of leadership. That Revan lead really is the PvP version. But Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker is the PvE king of Jedi. So you're going to get 15% critical chance and critical damage, which is double for Jedi. So just run Jedi with him, right? That's the thing you want. But at the start of each Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker turn, right, all enemies are reduced to his base speed until the end of the encounter. And this can't be increased in any way. Now, it doesn't affect raid bosses. Stamina plays a role here. And then the other thing is, like, Ninth Sister, right? That won't happen. And then a Galactic Legend will not have their speed reduced either. So keep that in mind. But here's the big thing. You get this, at the start of the encounter, all Jedi allies, are granted the ability Heroes Arise. So this ability is on a shared cooldown of 10. But dispel all debuffs on all allies. Call all Jedi allies to assist, dealing 20% less damage. All Jedi allies, excluding Old Republic, so kick Revan out of this for a second, they're going to recover 25% health and protection and gain Jedi's Will for 2 turns. Then, Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker is granted, 100% turn meter. And Jedi's Will, just for reference, you're going to get 100% counter chance, 50% offense, 25% speed, 25% tenacity. This is an unreal leadership. I don't think people realize how good this leadership is, particularly in territory battles. This is a better leadership than Jedi Master Luke. You can make him super slow. If you run a Galactic Legend with him, which I do all the time, I'll run a Galactic Legend with Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker, and you make him even ridiculously slow. I've had mine with almost 0 speed before, crazy amount of offense, and then you reduce the enemies to his speed, but the rest of your team stays at that higher, speed. And you just run a train on them. You take so many turns in front of them. It's crazy. Again, I think in PvP, this doesn't see as much use, but in PvE, this is probably one of the best Jedi leaderships in the game. All right, then we've got Liberty Dies, Padme. Now, again, this is not what it's called, but, this is how Liberty dies with Unwavering Courage. No, it's thunderous applause. But Unwavering Courage, guys, light side allies have 50% max health, that's awesome. And then, while they have protection up, they resist all debuffs and can't be critically hit. Remember, guys, protection up is based on your max health, so we're getting some additional bonus here to that protection up, right? Then, at the start of their turn, Galactic Republic allies dispel protection up buffs on themselves and gain 1 stack of courage for each 5% protection up dispelled this way. And then courage is, for each 5 stacks of courage, dispel 5 and deal bonus damage equal to 40% of the target's max health. This is a great leadership. I know that when you get Jedi Master Kenobi, she kind of fades into the dust a little bit as a leader because you don't find a lot of uses for her, but I can tell you that I still use this in Rise of the Empire territory battles over Jedi Master Kenobi at times because that courage can stack up really quickly. You can deal a ton of damage really fast. Yeah, I love Padme lead. I think it's still one of the best leaderships in the game. And again, it's really that 50% max health and then all the protection up stuff here. The biggest thing with this one that I think people forget is that this resist all debuffs and can't be critically hit while she's got protection up. That's one of the most insane abilities when you really sit down and think about that. So one of the biggest reasons the Empire can struggle against Padme, once she gets protection up, it's over. You're not landing debuffs on that team. You can't score critical hits. You're not going to deal enough damage, and they're just going to eventually courage you to death. Instead of dying by sadness, you're going to die from courage. It's brutal. Then we have the Lord of Sith Lords, Darth Traya. This is going to be a hot take, but Darth Revan and Darth Malgus, they're Sith Empire leads. Darth Traya's is just Sith allies. And that encompasses the whole faction. It opens up the way you can use her. Just that she can kind of house any Sith that you need because of that. That Sith allies, it's such a lucrative tag. So they're going to have 40% critical avoidance, 40% potency. Then when a debuffed enemy takes damage, all Sith allies recover 10% health. That's where the potency comes into play. Need to land those debuffs. When an enemy uses an ability outside of their turn, they take damage equal to 35% of their max health, this is the way Geonosians and Rebel fighters just melt before your eyes with Traya, that 35% max health damage. Now, it can't defeat enemies, but it'll take them down to almost nothing. Then when an enemy gains a buff outside of their turn, they lose 50% offense until their next turn. So you think about that. If you're attacking a team with, say, Shock T, and she uses her basic and gives everybody offense up, well, you just negated offense up, right? That's 50% additional offense. Nope, not anymore. Coming back down to just flat. You gave everybody tenacity up outside of their turn, Rex. Well, they just lost 50% offense until the end of their next turn. That is it. This is a great leadership. The biggest thing for me here is that it's all Sith allies. This is all encompassing. Yeah, I love this leadership. This is one I used in Geonosis territory battles for a very long time because that, when you're damaging a debuffed enemy and you can recover 10% health, you eventually, can just continually keep people alive with that. It's really good, guys. And I think it's a leadership that, even without the Omicron, because again, even without the Omicron, didn't even read the Omicron if you noticed. Without the Omicron, this is still one of my plug and play teams. This beats so much stuff as long as you understand how to use it. All right, and the final character here, we've got Dash Rendar, the Scoundrel King. So again, no Omicron here. Scoundrel allies enter the battle prepared, and prepared allies gain an additional bonus based on their role, doubled for light side scoundrels. Whenever a Scoundrel ally gains prepared, they gain critical damage up and offense up for 1 turn. All right, that's pretty good. Attackers get 15% critical damage. Well, doubled for light side, so that's 30. Tanks gain 15% max health. Well, if they're light side, that's 30. Support and healer, 10% potency, 10 speed. Doubled if they're light side. So Dash is a support character. So he's going to gain, over here, he's going to gain 20% potency and 20 speed. So my Dash at the start of battle is an effective 360 speed. We're moving pretty quick. So those are the characters here. Those are the 7 best leaderships. It's the fact that, to me, here, if I come back a little bit, for him, it's the fact that it's Scoundrel ally. Scoundrels is such a broad category. It's a huge faction, right? It's going to cover so many different characters you can just throw him with. And that's what makes him so good. Again, he does have a team that's very specific that really helps him. But that whole thing for me is that its Scoundrel allies gain all those bonuses. That's what makes him so good. Again, I really like Dash Rendar leadership. Again, with the Omicron, it gets even better. And if he has his team, they're just insane even without the Omicron. So those are the 7 best leaderships. But I told you guys there are 2 bonuses. And we're going to dive right into them right now. And that is Rey and Kylo. There were no Galactic Legends on that list, but there's 2 Galactic Legends here. And this is why. Rey and Kylo's leaderships are actually all encompassing of their, light side, dark side. So here, light side allies have 40% mastery, 30 speed, 30 max health. Whenever an enemy gains bonus turn meter, inspired light side allies. So this is the only part that is really resistance related, right? Resistance are the ones that gain inspired. Now she does as well. But like your resistance bros are the ones that can gain, that inspiration. But the first time each light side ally falls below 50% health, they gain damage immunity, which can't be copied, dispelled, or prevented, and recover 50% health when it expires. That's all light side. That is all light side allies that those things were encompassing. That is unbelievably good. And then we've got Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. Dark side allies have 30 speed, 40% mastery, 50% critical damage, and they can't be critically hit while they have advantage. That is, all right, we're rocking and rolling here, right? When a dark side ally loses advantage without scoring a critical hit, they gain advantage for 1 turn at the end of the turn. When a dark side ally gains advantage, if they didn't already have it, they gain a bonus based on their role. Tanks taunt for 2 turns, attackers gain critical damage up for 2 turns, support and healers gain 20% turn meter. Whew. Guys, this is a just unbelievably good leadership. One of probably the best leaderships in the game. Again, like Rey, it's dark side. Yes, it talks about advantage, but he gives out advantage on this ability, right? Dispel all debuffs on all dark side allies and grant them advantage. Again, just his leadership is saying, hey, if you have advantage, you're going to get this stuff. And this is pretty good. Whenever a dark side ally gains advantage, if they didn't already have it, they gain a bonus. God, this is so good. Probably one of the leaderships that I personally think is, again, similar to Rey, they really encompass their faction. Now, if you had to say, all right, Phil, which one of them is better for, light side, dark side, Rey's impact on the light side characters is much more significant than Kylo's impact to dark side characters. Kylo, the best dark side characters with him a lot of times are Zombie and Daka, right? That's a really potent team. But Rey, I mean, you've got the Rey smugglers, Rey with Jedi, Rey with Resistance. I mean, it goes on and on. She just really unaligned Force users now. Yeah, I mean, that's it. Those two characters, guys, are just really good compared to, and I'll say this, compared to somebody, like if we were just to look at, Jedi Master Luke here, say, oh, all light side allies have this. Oh, doubled for Jedi. If all allies are Jedi, the first time Jedi ally. And one other example we'll use here, we'll go to Lord Vader. Lord Vader. Dark side allies have this, doubled for Empire and Dark side unaligned Force users. At the start of battle, other Empire and Dark side unaligned Force users. So, they start like that, but then they really start honing in on their specific faction where Rey and Kylo kind of stay with their, hey, we're a light side and dark side galactic legends, and they kind of stick with it. That's the list, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are down below. As always, guys, we save this till the end because real people stay to the end of my videos. Guys, Wampa is king. If you guys want to see Wampa hit Relic 8 live on stream, all you need to do, get this channel to 5,000 subscribers, guys. So make sure you guys like and subscribe. Leave comments down below. I love all of you. May the Force be with you, and I'll see you in the next video, guys. Cheers.